Hi there. As part of our continuing discussion on SAMR throughout our curriculum, today I'd like to take a focus on vocabulary. Specifically with this next tool, we're going to look at the augmentation and modification stages of SAMR. So the augmentation stage idea is that you could create a mind map using a tool like Mindmeister, which I'll walk you through in a second, to create a mind map of vocabulary for a particular unit, topic, or lesson that you're about to teach in whatever curriculum area. This can be applicable to ELA, math, science, social studies, or even a specials area class. The second idea that we'll expand on within the same tool, Mindmeister, is to take that to a next level and add some visuals in. I'm going to do this all kind of in one step within the Mindmeister map that I'm about to show you, and then I'll come back and revisit the thing link here and kind of discuss the differences from the augmentation and the modification level. So let's jump over to Mindmeister. You can use this on your iPads through the app or through Safari. You can use this on laptops through the web portal on any web browser that you like. I'm here at the sign-in page of Mindmeister, and one of the great things about this tool is that it allows us to log in with our Google Apps for Ed accounts, so the students don't need an additional login. Wherever I see this red G, I'm able to use my Google Apps for Ed account to log in to that service. Mindmeister provides us with that. If you see a G with a plus sign, that's a completely different thing. That's allowing us to log in with a Google Plus login. Those are only available to regular gmail.com users, not to Google Apps for Ed students. So look for that red G on services and you can have your kids log in with your Google Apps for Ed service. That's how I'm going to log into Mindmeister. That's how I would have your students log into Mindmeister if you use this. So once I press that, if I'm already logged into the browser, Mindmeister just brings me in with my Google Apps for Ed account already. And I've created a Mindmeister mind map about Thanksgiving because I think it is pretty lame that Thanksgiving gets gypped for just being skipped kind of straight from Halloween to Christmas. So I think we need to bring Thanksgiving back. And so I feel like I need to make a vocabulary mind map about Thanksgiving. So I've added some important Thanksgiving things already on my mind map. Turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, those are definitely important parts of Thanksgiving. But the most important part of Thanksgiving, obviously, is thanks, and that's an important vocabulary word for me to portray to my students when we're working on this vocabulary. So I'm going to add a new node off of the center node here. So I like to click on the center node and then press the plus sign here to add a new idea or a new node off of that. Whatever the last bubble or node, these are called nodes, that you've clicked on, once you press that plus sign, the new node will pop off of that particular node that you just clicked on. So I always just like to go back and click on this center one first if I wanted to go off the center. So I'll press that plus sign. Here's my new node. The word is going to be thanks. And now I want to add a picture here to kind of represent thanks. So I come over to my side pane and I'm going to choose the image space here, and I see I can add images. So now it gives me a couple options. I can upload a new image, use a web image, draw an image, or browse an image library. With the free account that we get with Mindmeister login through Google Apps for Ed, you're allowed 5 searches within a mind map per day. So you could do a use web image, and within a 24-hour period, you could use the Google search right within Mindmeister 5 times to look for pictures of, in this case, thanks. I've actually already pulled some up on images.google.com, and I found one that I like. But I want to make sure that this is okay to use within copyright. So I'm going to go to Search Tools, Usage Rights, and I'm going to do a filter labeled for reuse. And unfortunately, the one that I liked that was at the top is now gone. But I see another one that I can use. So this is okay. I'm going to use this thanks image. Just copy the URL. Go back to my mind map, and it says enter URL. I'll paste it here in the box. My image should populate, and I'll press use selected, and it'll enter right in to that same box where my term is. Now, in creating my vocabulary mind map, I also want my students to use the vocabulary within context. So I'm going to click on this node again and add another idea. And I'm going to add a definition. So there's my definition. Student created definition in my own language. And then I'm going to add another node using it in a sentence. So the student uses the term, they find an image that describes that term, they give a definition, and they also add on a sentence using that in context. You could also have the students add synonyms, antonyms, if you wanted to have them show the origin of the word. You could add as many nodes off of this particular word as you want, and they're drag and droppable, so I can arrange these however I like. So you can see as I move this around, Mindmeister wants to kind of move this and where the node is connected to. So I can arrange those as I see fit to show my understanding. As a bonus feature to Mindmeister Mind Maps, if you go back out to the dashboard, I can actually share these mind maps by coming to the little caret that's over here. I can share this in a couple different ways, similar to a Google Doc. When I click the sharing feature, I can make this map private so only I can play around with it. I can share it to particular people. I can make it public to the web. I can even give other people editing access. Mindmeister says that you can put up to 50 people in a mind map at a single time. So if you made this public and shared the link with your students through something like, let's say, Schoology, or you could paste the link into a Google Doc if you're already using Google Drive, they could click that link, open your mind map, and they could start contributing to the mind map in a collaborative environment. Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, just keep it shared and keep it for yourself, and you could add the content, but the students create the content. So they could go come up with the definitions, come up with the sentences, synonyms, antonyms, give you that information, and you add it there while having a class discussion. So that's one idea on how you could use this at kind of a lesson or a unit level at the augmentation phase. At the modification phase, to take that and expand the idea just a little bit more, now we're going to create kind of a word wall that is growing with us throughout the year. So now I'm going to expand the idea and take it for my whole content area. So let's say ELA. All my ELA terms are going to be populated to one of these mind maps. each day. So instead of having a Thanksgiving, this might be my ELA mind map. And here I would have all my ideas for my ELA word wall instead of posting those to a bulletin board that I have. Once we're starting to work on this, the students and I, we would share this, and I would have a place like Schoology or like a Google Doc where the kids could go click that link, open up our interactive word wall, and they could interact with it. There are lots of other things that you can add on top of the text, the images, such as video. If you want to have students create tutorials explaining these terms to add to your word wall, that's definitely a great addition to expand this again in the modification stage, because it just takes it that next level and expands the idea. So those are two ideas with SAMR and vocabulary on how you could use a mind mapping tool like Mindmeister to take an augmentation and modification approach to the traditional introduction and teaching of vocabulary. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching.